Hello friends, welcome to the last episode of Techie Tuesdays. Yes, you heard it right. It's the last episode of Techie Tuesdays. This is the 69th episode of Techie Tuesdays and the journey has been wonderful. It has been 1.5 years since I'm doing this weekly question answer episode where I answer your tech and career related queries. And from next week, I will be starting a new version of Techie Tuesdays called Techie Tuesdays Hindi, where I will be answering the same tech and career related queries of the people, but in Hindi. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Now let's get started with today's episode. Today's first question is by Rakesh. He's asking, will .NET Core still be relevant in 2025? Rakesh, technically .NET Core won't be relevant in 2025. Rather than it will be replaced by some other .NET version, that is .NET 6 or most probably .NET 8. If we talk about .NET platform, then yes, it will remain relevant till 2025. Even after 2025 it will remain relevant for next 10-20 years because Microsoft is adding new features in .NET platform. However, if we talk specifically about .NET Core framework, then it will not be relevant after December 2022 because that is the time till when it will be supported. After that, the support of .NET Core framework will end and people who are working on .NET Core framework, they will have to move to either .NET 6 framework, which is the next long-term support version, or .NET 8 framework. Back in 2019, when .NET 5 was announced, which was the first version which was supposed to be the combination, or you can say that the merging of all the .NET runtimes, that is .NET Framework, Mono and .NET Core runtime. At that time, Microsoft also released the roadmap of .NET Framework. They said that every year there will be a new version of .NET which will be released, and every alternate year a long-term support version will be released. So the regular version, that is the current, there will be two versions. One will be the current version and the another one will be the long-term support version. .NET Core's long-term support version is .NET Core 3.1, which will be supported till December 2022. The current version of .NET is .NET 5, which will be supported till next year, and I think it is not much supported now. The long-term support version, the current long-term support version is .NET 6, which will be supported till November 2024. So every current version will be supported only for 1 year, which will have all the latest features, and every long-term support version will be supported for next 3 years, which will have the long-term support features. So according to that logic, by 2025, the relevant version of .NET framework would be .NET 8 framework, which will be the long-term support version, and people will most probably port their application in either .NET 6 framework or .NET 8 framework. Next question is by Shahryar Mirza. He's asking, does creating a Facebook page, YouTube channel or other social media accounts fall under programming? Shahryar, no, it doesn't comes under programming, rather than it comes under content creation using software tools. Facebook page, YouTube channel or other social media platforms are just tools of content creation. So there you can say anything or tell anything. But when we talk about programming means you are using any software language, framework to solve a particular problem. If you are creating this Facebook page or YouTube channel or other social media accounts related to programming, where you are solving problems or you are creating videos on programming, then of course you can consider it as programming because you are creating content for programming. But again, technically it is not considered as programming, it is still considered as content creation. So when I create videos about .NET programming, basically I am creating content related to .NET programming. However, I'm not actually doing programming. The actual programming will be that I am solving a problem. Actual programming is what I am doing in my day-to-day job, where I am solutioning architectures related to different software problems for my clients. So typically programming is when you are solving a problem, or you are creating an application, or you are creating any kind of software using any programming language or framework. What you have all mentioned is basically content creation. Next question is by Kirti. She's asking, what is the difference between IT development and IT operations? Kirti, IT development is when you are building or maintaining a software using any programming language. So a software to solve any kind of problem using any programming language is basically IT development. So the companies which build software for their clients and solve problems or create products, software products for their clients, they are basically called IT development companies, and these can be services companies as well as product companies. Whereas IT operations is basically managing the hardware solutions of a software company, or managing the deployment managing the network of a software company, or managing the deployments of these softwares on the hardware of different companies or on cloud. So every company has a IT operations division which basically handles all the deployments, management of the servers, management of the networks, management of the IT hardware resources, be it your laptops, be it your desktops, for any other for all the employees of the company, and that division is primarily called IT operations division. So the simple difference is that IT development is when you are developing a software using any programming language, and IT operations is when you are deploying a software or managing the hardware and network of a company. Next question is by Yash. He's asking, I am working on my first job and find it very difficult to cope up with working on multiple things. It seems I am losing interest. What should I do? Yash, this usually happens with most of the people in the beginning of their career. I don't have a sure shot answer for you. However, I have a few suggestions for you to follow. The first suggestion would be to write down the positive and negatives of all the things which you are doing in your day-to-day job in the current company. So on any weekend, sit down with paper and pen and write down all the positives and negatives of your current job. And then find the solutions of the negatives so that it can also be turned into positive, and it improves or it enhances your motivation to do the job. So the first suggestion for you would be, as I said, write down the positives and negatives of your current job and find ways to solve the negatives problems of that job. The second suggestion would be to join a local community of your particular technology. Let's say you are working in .NET, so you would join the local .NET community in your area and discuss, participate in the events, like join their events which are happening. Most of the events nowadays are happening online, so join those live online events and participate in the discussions happening there. Maybe some of the negatives or some of the technical challenges which you are facing, you can discuss about those challenges on those platforms without taking the name of your company or without taking the name of your client. You can directly post those problems, that okay, I am facing these kind of problems, I have these find these like I have tried these approaches, but I was not able to solve this problem. Can you please help me out? So that way you will get a community who can help you out, at least in your technical problems. So join a community of your technology, join a local community of your technology, either online or join their offline events. The third option would be to find a mentor. You can find a mentor either in your company who can be probably someone senior. You can just politely ask them that, sir or ma'am, can you please mentor me in my career? I am facing these problems, I am losing interest. So can you please mentor me? It can be a project manager. You know, most of the companies, like in most of the companies, project managers are kind of treated as mentor, and it's kind of their KRA to mentor the junior employees in their career. So you can talk to your project manager, or you can talk to any senior in your company who is friendly towards all the subordinates or all the team. You can talk to him or her and you can say that, can you please mentor me? I am facing these problems. But before asking for mentoring, of course, do the exercise, the first exercise which I said, that write the positives and negatives, and probably go with him with the negatives, that okay, I am facing these problems, can you please help me, or can you please mentor me in solving these problems. You can find a mentor outside your company also. It can be someone experienced in the community. However, before asking someone for mentorship, do take care that whether that mentorship is paid or not. You may go for paid mentorship also. By that, the mentor has a liability that okay, he has to guide you. So he will guide you good in your career. So in my opinion, find a mentor either in the community or find a paid mentor, or find a mentor in your company or in the community. I hope these suggestions will help you in solving all these multiple problems, and it may motivate you in doing your job better. Next question is by Edward. He's asking, can I develop a software using C# without the .NET platform? Why? Edward, no. Technically, you can't develop software using just C# language. You need the .NET framework, be it Mono framework, be it .NET Core framework, or be it .NET framework, to build the software completely and to deploy the software also. For any programming language to work or to build a software in any programming language, you need a compiler or you need a runtime to convert their code into machine understandable code or machine language. .NET platform, which can be a mixture of .NET framework, .NET Core framework, .NET 5 framework, .NET 6 framework. So basically, .NET platform is same for C#. Without that, C# will not work. So .NET platform contains the runtime and the compiler for C# language. This is applicable not only on C#, but it is applicable on all the programming language, be it C++, be it Java, be it Python, be it C. So all the programming language have either interpreters, compilers, or runtimes on which they are dependent to execute their code or to build their code in a machine understandable format. So the answer to your question is that no, you can't build a C# based software without using .NET platform. The next question is kind of a philosophical question from Sunny. He's asking, other than money, what is the reason that people want to work in a company like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft? Sunny, different people in different age group have different reasons apart from money to work in these large companies. However, the biggest common reason apart from money to behind the you can say desire to work in this large company is status, or you can say showing off the brand of these companies. So basically, when you are working in these companies, you are considered as a highly intelligent person, because these are more, you can say, more successful companies, and they have a very stringent hiring process. So if you are hired by Google, Microsoft, or Amazon, you are considered as a very intelligent person and a very successful person, and your status is considered as high in the society. Because of course you are getting good money, you are getting all the benefits of these companies. Like many of these companies has all different kind of perks and parcels. But as I said, that apart from money, the biggest motivator is of course status. It's just like wearing a branded cloth, or using a branded item like wearing a Rolex watch, or using Apple MacBook, the highest configuration Apple MacBook. So basically you are considered as a highly successful person in the society. But as I said that these reasons can vary based on your age and based on at what level you are currently. But in general, I would say that apart from money, the biggest motivation factor for joining these large companies is of course status in the society. These were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this last episode of Techie Tuesdays. As usual, if you want your questions to be featured in next Hindi episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions with hashtag Techie Tuesdays on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care. Bye bye.